sister is dying.
There's only one way to prevent that. I want you to kill Malcolm Merlyn.
What's unfolding here, it is bigger than my daughter.
We're all backed into a corner, Malcolm.
There will be war. And the streets of your home will run red with the blood of our enemies.
To end this, you must kill me.
Let's finish this.
How's it going, everybody? Today I'm reviewing Arrow Season 4, Episode 13, Sins of Our Father. Spoilers for the episode. If you've not seen it, go watch the episode, then come back here. So this week's episode felt more like a Season 3 episode. We go back to a lot of the stuff with the League of Assassins and Ra's al Ghul and all that. But the main overall storyline is we're trying to save Thea any way possible. And some people have certain ways of doing so. So basically, Nyssa wants to kill Merlyn, and the only way she'll give up this potion, this elixir, or whatever you want to call it, to save Thea is basically by Oliver killing Malcolm Merlyn, but he does not want to do that at all. He wants to end this peacefully. He wants to be all zen about it, and he wants to basically negotiate and find a way. He tries to prove to Merlyn, hey, this thing's working, and Nyssa's like, okay, fine, we'll see, and they finally have this stare down, and this moment was very weird and cheesy looking and just odd. Once they start fighting, it didn't work. Like I said, it very felt much like Season 3, which was probably the worst season of Arrow so far, and it just, the scene there just did not work. The only real action scene that I actually enjoyed was when they're fighting in the streets and there's innocent civilians being killed left, right, and center. That was cool. But everything else kind of just fell flat, especially in the action area, and just the confrontations were very cheesy. Even when Laurel goes down right before that car thing, it was just, again, the confrontation scenes just did not work. Even at the very end, when they finally decide that they're going to have a trial by combat, and Merlyn's going to fight Nyssa, and then Oliver cuts in, like, saying, no, I'm her husband, technically, so I'm going to fight, and it was very anticlimactic. It didn't have the same even stakes that the first trial by combat had in Season 3, that mid-season where Oliver actually dies, that it didn't have the same stakes at all. And again, very anticlimactic, but at least some cool things at the very end of the episode. There was a great scene before the trial between Oliver and Malcolm. I thought that was a great scene. You got some good reveals. Ra's al Ghul knows everything, basically. They're good performances by both John Barrowman and Stephen Amell, again, bringing their A-game. Meanwhile, the other side storyline, you got Felicity finding out that her dad is back in town, and she's trying to trust him. And really, this episode was all about change, whether it be Malcolm Merlyn being able to change or not, or Felicity's father being able to change. And you got to see a different side of Mama Smoke. She's normally really goofy and bubbly, and she went really serious in this episode when she was talking about her ex-husband there. But you see that Felicity's father is still trying to be deceitful, still trying to find out things, still trying to find out different technology type stuff. But she, in the end, decides to call the cops on him and get him arrested. And I was a little disappointed because it ended up so quickly. It was just 2 episodes. I thought this arc with Felicity's father could have lasted a little bit longer. I know sometimes they drag things out, but I think this one warranted a bit of a bigger storyline. So again, then we have the flashback scenes where Tiana and Oliver are trapped in the cell. She ends up trying to give away, and actually succeeds in giving away, the stone that Oliver had. And basically, she's trying to deal with the fact that Oliver's killed her husband, and trying to come up with a plan, kind of to overcome his people. The flashbacks were okay this episode. They weren't the worst things ever, but again, it's a setup. Like, I feel like most of the flashbacks have been just set up for something hopefully happening. Next week they're going to dig a hole, so we know that's happening. But yeah, I mean, the flashbacks were okay. Nothing too special, but not the worst in the world. But then we get to the very end of the episode where Malcolm Merlyn goes to Damien Darhk and says, hey, you thought you have hurt Oliver with the person he cares about the most, but you haven't. He cares about his son William even more. And I called it way back when it was first introduced in the crossover episode. The person in the grave is Oliver's son. I'm calling it. Again, it's very dark, but I think... pun there. See that? Damien Darhk. It's very dark, but I think that's who it's going to be in the grave. I mean, they could be... Again, they're throwing out red herrings left, right, and center, so it could be another red herring with, like, Thea potentially being there. Obviously, it doesn't seem like it's her anymore. So I'm curious to see what happens, but this is my prediction, what's going to happen. Basically, at the end of the season, I think Darhk is going to be defeated. 100%, he's going to be dead, but he's going to find out that it was Malcolm who told Darhk about his son, and that's why going into season 5, it's gonna come full circle, season 1 to season 5. Oliver's going right after Malcolm Merlyn, 100%. That's season 5. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. I'm seeing it right now, calling it. Season 5, Arrow versus Merlyn. Game on. So overall, the episode was okay. It had its moments, but it wasn't the best thing in the world. Let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comment section below. Again, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos each and every week. That's it, and I will talk to you all later.